Okay, so this is going to be the formula for calculating novation offers. Now, just getting into this, novation is like this new thing that, just a new arsenal in wholesalers' tool belts. As a real estate investor, you can do things like novation, you can do things like wholesale, subject to, and creative finance. So a lot of our business has actually gone pure novation. About 80% of our business is novation, and 20% is just strictly just cash, original classic cash deals. You can still do cash deals with the novation. It's basically you're replacing another contract you're replacing a contract with another contract. That's it. You're not assigning the rights like it would be for a um, assignment of contract. You're just replacing a contract with another contract. And how you're doing this and you're finding this is you're finding retail buyers on the MLS. Now I know a lot of you are probably like, man, how am I going to do this? Like what? It's super super simple. When I first started doing it, I didn't know exactly what I was doing. I saw a few of my mentors do it, and a few friends do it. So it's still a learning, work of progress. Everybody's, has their own innovation pitch. There's no, I have this one thing is like, it doesn't matter how you tackle your enemy as long as you get them down. If you're going to get them down in boxing, MMA, with a gun, like whatever, just get your enemy down, get your goal down. And so just going on to innovation, this is what basically how we're calculating our stuff. So one, look at pending offers, find comparable pending properties. So I like to look at apples to apples. I don't like to look. I get super specific. I look in the same exact neighborhood, same bedroom, same bath, as close as I can to the year bill, as close as I can to the size of the property, the lot size. I try to get as close as I can to apples. I hate going into other neighborhoods. If my property's a 3-2 and I'm looking in a neighborhood, a property that's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. That one's built in 1950. Mine's built in 2000. Like I don't like that. I try to like close that gap and get as close as I can to it being apples to apples. So two, I look at the pending and I look at the pending ones and I see, okay, how much work does mine need to get there? And if there's not a pending one, then I just look at like an ARV nice one and I'm like, okay, mine's apples to that. Is that one pending or is it sold? How much work does mine need to get to that point? And so I'll look at that. Usually, there's going to be a lot of as is properties that are pending, and I like those. Whenever I find something that's like as is, that looks like my property, then I'm like, okay, cool. I have something to work with, and it's pending within 30 days. I'm like, awesome, that's awesome. So I look at that property, and then I'll undercut mine by like $20,000 or $30,000. And so my theory is like, okay, when I put this on the market for $20,000 to $30,000 less than one that's pending, I would hypothetically think that like it's gonna go flying. If one property sold or went pending in 2 weeks that looks exactly like mine, but mine's $30,000 less, like I'm gonna bet that mine's gonna sell quicker. And then so I'll do that. I'll minus the 6% commission. Now you don't have to do 6%. I like to start at 6% because it gives me like negotiation room just in case I can't get that offer. I do 2% for the buyer, 1% for the seller side agent, and then 2% for the buyer. And I'll show you how to find the agents and what we do to partner up with them. Super simple though. And then after that, like you'll do your fee. So usually, I mean, novations is. We typically go for a $20,000 assignment fee on novations. I've seen some people do $100,000 novation, $50,000. I think our biggest one was $37,000 so far. So I mean, however you can basically get the deal. Like a novation's gonna be able to have you get a little bit more on price to the seller, versus you're just cash 70%. Minus ARV, or ARV minus 70%, minus repairs, minus your fee. Like you doing the novation strategy, you're opening up it up on the MLS, and you're catching retail buyers that are going to get 15-year, 30-year financing for the property. And then so the formula is going to be find a pending property that's apples to apples, minus 20 to 30 thousand, just to undercut it, super aggressive. minus your 6%, and then minus your novation fee. Now, typically, it just depends. I don't know. Like, your novation offer is always going to be a little bit higher than your cash. So, it's attractive to the seller. It makes you stand out more. It's been our bread and butter for the past 2 years, and we're still learning and cultivating it. Sometimes I'm transparent with them. It just depends on the seller. Sometimes I'm just like, hey, this is like you're selling a property. Does it matter how we get there? No? Okay, gotcha. We're gonna get there. This is our process. Or you can there's all ways to swing it. But yeah, that's typically our novation. What's working for us. I'm sure you probably might have seen some other people doing a different percentage or different strategy, but this is what's working for us for our novation offer.